By the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and today we are joined by Lady Bulldogs soccer head coach, Matt Calvert.
Hi, nice. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Excited again.
I tell you, last time we saw you was going over the boys soccer club. Again, you're pulling double duty. You got the boys program in the fall. You got the girls program here in the spring.
Yeah, can't get enough of soccer.
That's great. And again, we talked about that before, your history of it being part of the soccer community here coming up. And, your dad's so involved with the youth program coming up. And then, you've involved, you were here on the staff, you're a teacher here in the school district, and then you're an assistant, and then you took over as head coach this last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, first year as the Lady Bulldogs head coach. So you're moving in. You guys were, I think, 14-9 last season is what I thought. And you had you had a win in districts and lost in the semifinal round, right?
Yeah.
So what's your thought about looking at the Lady Bulldogs? Who do you got returning? What's your outlook for them?
I'm very excited for this year. We've got a very big junior class and coming up that's going to kind of be the backbone of our team. We're bringing up a whole bunch of those juniors, but we've got that experience in a couple of our seniors that stay with Ava Burnett, Addie Bullich. Some of these girls have got a lot of varsity experience to kind of help lead us as we transition, because we graduated 7 starters this last year. We had a big senior heavy team, a lot of talent on that team. And now we've kind of got to transition to this younger group that has to step up and take their place. So we've got players like Emma Fontenot, Hallie Hodges, McKenna Moore, Livia Young, all this big group of juniors that are they're excited and they're ready to step up.
So do you see you've had a week of practice, 2 weeks of practice?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah, 1 week.
And then we're dealing with some weather out there today. So like you said, you kind of turn more into the strategy and the discussions with the team. But what do you see so far? Do you see continue with the same style? Do you see an adjustment this year with, again, graduating 7 starters?
Right.
What do you see of the changes for your team this year?
Yeah, so sticking with a very similar formation, I really like the 4-3-3 for this group of girls that we have. But I want to change up our style a little bit. Last year we had players very, very athletic, very aggressive, get to the goal as fast as we can players, and that style fit us best this last year. But this year, with our transitioning over, I've got a group of girls that I think could really excel with some more possession-based soccer. So I'm going to try to do with them kind of what I did with the boys in the spring or in the fall, and get us moving the ball side to side more than up and back as fast as we can, and just see how that works for us. This group of girls has played together forever, as long as I can think, and so they've seen a lot of soccer, they know a lot of soccer, and they're really excited to try out a newer style of soccer.
Yeah, so playing the ball control game, working on the shots, using the footwork, using the skills they have to strategically get shots and make the defense move versus just, again, getting those power shots.
Exactly. Yep, breaking down the defense before we take our shots. That's the key.
Because back when you played, right, you guys would have a kind of combination. You have these,
Aaron Froelich
up top that can just do his thing.
And some possession players like Logan Huff, Hunter Short in the middle that really rounded us out. So I like that combination, and I would like to bring that forward to the teams that we're having now.
Well, great. Well, you talked about a bunch of juniors coming up. Any other newcomers like to the varsity team that you're expecting to have some contributions right off the bat?
Yeah, the biggest one is our freshman goalkeeper, Balin Lane. We graduated 2 goalkeepers this last year, both of which had played a significant amount of varsity time with Hannah Bleckman and Dace Murray. Both of them played a significant amount of varsity time, and were very talented goalkeepers. So left some big shoes to fill, and we really didn't have any true goalkeepers. We had a bunch of girls that were very talented goalkeepers. Riley Ball played some goalkeeper. Allison Lindback played some goalkeeper, but their heart lies on the field, and I'd rather them be playing what they want to play than forcing them to play a different position. So we asked some of the girls, and they said, hey, we need someone to step up and be our goalkeeper, someone who wants to be the goalkeeper and make that their position for the season. And Balin said, that's me. I'm your girl. I want to do that this year. So really excited to see how she progresses. She's very strong, very athletic, especially for a freshman. So once she gets some experience and some confidence under her belt, I expect that we're going to be looking really good in our goalie position for the next 4 years.
Great. So again, do you have is there goalie camps that they're going to? Is there special trainers? I mean, we do the same thing with basketball. Or
Right.
You're going to you got these coaches you bring in for those situations.
Yeah. So there are goalie specific coaches because it's such a different position than anything else in soccer. It's very unique. You can use your hands. But I believe Balin has been working with S&T in the off season, working with their goalie coach, a private coach I believe she's talked to and worked with. And she's even worked with my dad some during this off season. So she is reaching out and actively seeking to get this soccer knowledge so that she's not just, starting a spot that she's never tried before. She did work at it this off season, and she played club ball at goalkeeper this off season, and there was a lot of growth just in one season. So yes, she's reaching out to those other coaches and getting all the experience she can as quick as she can.
That's great. Yeah, that's always exciting. And learning from those that have been there before you, they can provide you some little tips and techniques. And when you get with some of the younger players, you get experience with them as well.
Yeah.
That can be really meaningful for them as they put that time in and they see the rewards for their effort.
Absolutely.
So who do you see as look at the conference this year? I mean, who do you expect to be kind of at the top, and where do you guys kind of fit into that mix?
Yeah, Kickapoo and Glendale. I mean, it's hard to ever say that they're not going to be fighting for one of those top two spots, but the girls that we've got this year, as freshmen, when they were all on JV together, they beat everyone. I mean, we split with Glendale. We beat them once. They beat us once. But we beat Kickapoo. We beat Rockford. We beat everyone as freshmen. And, trying to tell those girls, hey, you beat them once. Now you just got to beat them as the varsity team. So I really see us competing this season. And I think the girls are really driven with this being our last year in the Ozark Conference. I think they want it. I think they want to stick it to Kickapoo and Glendale this year. So, I'd like, not to be too arrogant here, but I'd like to put us in that conversation for that top spot.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, that's one of the things we've been a struggle with. Again, the Ozark Conference when you have these dominant teams there. It'll be what a great way to finish out this year.
Absolutely.
With having the girls program, getting that title.
Yes, I think that would be great.
So, talk about your coaching staff. What do you got helping you this year?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've got a new coach. She hasn't coached in Raleigh before, Melissa Perkins. She works with me over at Wyman. I've known her for the last several years working there. And she's coached in St. James, so she's got some soccer coaching experience at the JV level. And she's really good at getting those girls with the basics rounded out, getting them really solidified in their passing, their positioning, all the basics that you really need to have mastered before you can continue to grow as a player. So she's been working with the girls, and we've already seen the girls start to. She has a very good way of explaining herself to the girls so they understand. Positioning can be difficult. It's kind of confusing when you're using words you've never heard before. But she does a really good job of patience with them and helping them grow into those positions as they learn them.
Yeah, that's so important. Again, having that with your JV program, building up again as you're trying to establish. And like you said, this year you're going to try to do a little more ball control than past
Absolutely.
years. So that becomes even more important because if they're not in position,
right?
Whether on defense or offense,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a wasted trip.
Yep, you can't possess the ball if you don't have someone there to hold it.
Great.
So,
right. That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
So upcoming schedule. We're talking about it. So you got a jamboree on Monday at Calvert.
At Camdenton, yep, we'll play Camdenton and Waynesville. Dixon was in it, but they dropped out. So looking forward to those two games. Big rivalry games. Yes. So it's really fun early in the season getting the chance to play them and see how we're looking, especially getting them play early on with this new style that we're trying and seeing how it works. And then later on down the road, we can kind of measure growth as we see them again later. So it'll be good.
Now, what's the format for the jamboree typically?
It is usually 25 to 30-minute games, and it's just you play everyone once and go home. Okay. So.
Okay, I didn't know, in football, you got so many trips or so many possessions. And in basketball, they do 3 quarters or they do something like this.
Yeah.
And, they shrink everything down or extend it. And so it's always kind of a mix of how you do it.
We get about 2/3 of a half.
Okay.
About 2/3 of, about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how many teams are in the I'm losing the word, the jamboree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now, will you have it mainly as your varsity time, or will you find ways to get the JV kids in there as a unit as well?
The jamboree we typically use for varsity, just to really nail down those positions, because we're still, I won't have seen them in a game situation yet. So working on finding who my starting lineup is going to be is a lot of what we use the jamboree for. I do pull several of the girls up just because it's a good chance to see them with the varsity side of things. But no, I primarily use my jamboree to iron out some of those positions because these girls, they're battling for spots. They want those starting roles, and this is a good chance to show, if they should be starting or who my starters are.
Yeah, know what you kind of have in for those kids that can replace and how to make sure their positions are where they need to be. That's
absolutely.
great. Yeah. So then we turn into the next, or your first real game will be at home, right? With the Bluefish Invitational.
Yep, it'll be on that Friday.
That's gonna be exciting. Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
Do you know who else coming in for that?
Yeah, it's Borgia, Springfield Catholic, and Pacific, I believe. I'd have to double check. But the those three schools, it's a very high competition turn. I mean, Borgia and Springfield Catholic alone are pretty tough customers when it comes to their sports. But starting off the year with the bang is never a bad way to start off. I love having that competition. So,
and that'll be a round robin.
Yeah. We've had a couple teams drop, so we've changed the format of the Bluefish. It used to be a 2-pool system, and then I believe champions from each division would play each other. But since we had 2 teams drop, we turned it into just a 4-team round robin, and it's going to be everyone plays everyone, and then the team with the most points at the end is the winner.
Oh, great! That'll be fun.
Yeah,
and will you use both fields?
No, since it's only 4-team invitation, we'll do just on the turf field.
Okay. Yeah, and that was one of the things we knew historically, like the boys preferred the grass, and the girls' teams back then, again, their team, they preferred the turf, I believe is how it was. There was a few years back on that. I was always trying to figure out, like, hey, well, what, is it?
I asked the girls this year, spring traditionally is rainy, just weather all over the place. So the turf is more consistent, and it's a lot easier to train on the turf because that's what most of the other schools are going to use. And again, with the consistency with the rain, we can play on the turf in the rain. We can't play on the grass in the rain. I did ask the girls, their opinion. I was like, is this something you want me to see if we can get done, on the grass field? And they said, no, coach, we've been playing on turf for a while. We're pretty comfortable on turf. I think we'd like to stay on the turf. I said, that sounds great to me. I mean, that's what we're playing everyone else on. So I like it.
All right. So after the Bluefish Soccer Invitational, again, it'll be next Friday and Saturday, the 15th and 16th. Then you'll hit your first road game at Republic.
Yep.
And then in a matter of, 18th, 19th, 21st, 22nd.
Yeah. 4 games in 5 days on that.
Holy
if you include the Bluefish tournament, we got 7 games in 7 days.
That is incredible.
The girls are going to be fit or exhausted by the end, or both. They're going to be breathing hard by that Cap City game.
Well, so the good thing though is you start off with Bluefish Invitational at home.
Yeah.
So you have that. Then you go on the road, and then you come back.
3 home games.
Yeah, and again, and 2 of those are conference games. So right off the bat, you're getting right into it and going.
Yeah. No time to breathe. But the girls are excited, and we've got some strong subs coming off the bench. I can do a lot of rotating and really try to keep those legs as fresh as possible. So we've been talking to the girls about this first week since the season started. So they've been hitting the fitness hard, really conditioning, and in their off time, they're conditioning. So really trying to find that line of over conditioning versus, that. But I think the girls have done a good job of knowing their limits and pushing as hard as they can without going into the injury danger zone.
So anything else about this season we need to go over? I mean, again, we talked about the jamboree, we got the Bluefish there, you got working with your team, get them set. Anything else you have? Do you have any like Gatorade scrimmages or anything? Or
not yet. We're working on some a snack scrimmage that it's really fun that we do with the parents. Their entry fee is a snack. So they'll bring snacks for the girls, and they'll drop off Gatorade bottles and snacks like that. And it's a fun little tradition they started, and we're going to continue doing that. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking for.
A lot of fun. That's not going to be like the old the snack bags when you have the little gummies or the fruit snacks.
Yeah.
No, kids bring out the box of fruit snacks.
Yes. No, we're not bringing orange slices to halftime this year.
Okay. All right. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I'm just thinking about when the kids doing that.
We've done
Yeah,
it before, and the
yeah,
kids got a big kick out of it, but no, not this year.
All right. Well, Matt, man, best luck coming
Thank
up.
you.
We've got the Jamboree on Monday, then following up next weekend, we've got the Bluefish Invitational. So make sure you guys turn out and support the Lady Bulldogs as they open up the season on that. And so for Matt Calvert, the head coach of Lady Bulldog Soccer, I'm Tom Brown, and we'll see you on the next episode of Inside the Huddle. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.